Hey everyone, welcome back to Beach Angel Tarot. I am here to do another spread from my Etsy shop called the Mirror Relationship spread, and we're going to see how you and your partner, specific person, are mirroring each other and some information about them and the connection and whatnot. So let's just dive in and see what comes up for everyone from Spirit, and we're going to see let's do an opening oracle first. I want to use this deck for the reading. Let's do an opening oracle from the Ascended Masters. And we're going to ask what Ascended Master is working in tandem with you and your person. So it would be a mirroring, energetic help that you're getting from this Ascended Master. Who is it and what are they helping with? I feel it's this one that's wanting to jump. And it's energy healing Merlin. So magical energy. Merlin is very magical as well. So, interesting. I just did a new moon reading, and it was a lot of healing coming up around our energy and ascension energy too. So this almost looks like new moon, like the moon there looks like the new moon. So kind of going right along with my new moon reading. Okay, so Merlin is helping each person equally with the same energy of energy healing. Okay, so I'm focusing on my spread. The first card represents you, how you view yourself in the relationship. So this is how you see yourself in the relationship. And it's a woman. So majority of my viewers are women. If you are a masculine watching this, you may be viewing yourself more in a feminine role. So not, quite as masculine. You may not be feeling as active, but how you view yourself is the divine feminine. Also very in the receptive, very much in the moon type of energy of the yin, of receptivity, of being open to receive at this time, maybe not being very active, not taking a lot of action. You have your eyes covered, so you may not be showing a lot of your, you can't be read, right? So it's a feeling of high priestess. You're not revealing a lot. You're not able to kind of allow your partner to maybe see you or kind of get a glimpse of you. You're feeling a little bit hidden, high priestess, not revealing a lot, kind of maybe pulled back, not taking a lot of action. With the high priestess, there's a sense of silence. You may actually be silent, not talking so much, or, maybe you talked a lot in the past, or you reached out a lot of the time, more than the masculine, and you're not doing that anymore. Whatever this represents, there is that sense, but not being able to see your eyes, like you can't be read. You don't want somebody to be able to read you or your energy so much, so you're a little closed off in that regard. So the next one is the way you view the other person in this connection, and it is Death's Door, number 2. So it can be like they're, like it represents like an ending. You may be sensing this person, they may first of all not be well, they may be ill, literally. If that is not resonating for your personal situation, it can indicate energetically, they may be quiet, they may not be very active in the connection. The door, being closed here, it can indicate them not, maybe have blocked you, or, not communicating a lot, that kind of energy as well. And it can be like from your energy, you could be very close to the way you're viewing the way the other person, this is the way you view the other person, and it can be that you are kind of viewing them where you may be feeling like you're going to shut the door. You have shut the door on them, so you can't see them. There's a sense here that, you cannot see them. There's not even a person in this card. So literally like going through transformative energy, closed off, maybe blocked, and for some, literally not doing well, literally. So the number 3, the way the other person views you. And it is an unbreakable bond. So very spiritual. And 2, it's interesting. There's a 2 on this door, but there's a 63 on there. 2 is the high priestess, and 7 is a spiritual number, but it's also chariot. So I feel like there are with the high priestess feel with the 2 and the 7 and the chariot. If I feel like they also view you as moving in silence. You're not talking a lot. It's really going with this who you see yourself as really. The high priestess is also very mystical, very spiritual. Yeah, mystic, but mysterious is the word I want to use as well. Mystic and mysterious, not revealing a lot, not maybe communicating a lot. And that's how you're moving through the connection right now, or you're moving in the connection right now. But ultimately, above all else, it's still to them, they view you as an unbreakable bond. Like they can't shake you. They know there's a spiritual connection. There is a mystical connection. There is a mysterious connection. They see you in that energy, and they see their connection to you in that way. The way the other person views themselves. So this is how they view themselves as a psychic. So they are in maybe a spiritual awakening. Because let's see, this was like death, Scorpio energy, transformative. And that was the way you view the other person. So you could really be sensing too that they are going through some sort of transformative energy. But they, the way they view themselves is, I feel like they're opening to psychic abilities. They may literally be psychic, but they're having some sort of spiritual awakening. They may be having prophetic dreams. They may have a psychic knowing of you. So yeah, there is that sense, and that's how they're viewing themselves, of having some sort of knowing, especially with the unbreakable bond. There is some sort of sense and knowing within the connection, and that's how they view themselves here in this. So there's a lot of that all the way through so far. There's a lot of deep, mystical, high priestess, inner knowing energies through both people. And quiet too. It's like we're not saying it. We may be doing a lot of thought transmission, right, or telepathy right now, but there's not a lot of, if you're talking on the 3D, there's not a lot of sharing this. Both of you know it, but you're not saying it. I don't feel in words to each other. Number 5 is a positive mirror reflection, a positive energy you both share and see in each other. So this is going to be something positive, and it is creative expression. So you both see each other as creative beings, as co-creators, strong manifestation skills within each other. And I feel like at times where you do talk or communicate, that there is that sense of being able to be a good communicator. I feel in both realms, in the physical and in the spiritual realm, to, be able to create within the connection and to continue creating in the connection. But I feel this has got to do with a lot of artistic energies. You may be muses to each other, inspire each other. Creativity is also, again, sacral chakra. It came up in my new moon reading. So there is a strong pull here to that chakra. So creativity, arts, sexuality, manifesting, because that's where we manifest new life through that chakra, is the sacral chakra. So manifesting comes up here too, and sexuality comes up here as well in regards to it. So that's where you both share and see positive energy, is in that sacral chakra with each other, for all those reasons. So you may feel like you manifested each other too, when we look at it in that aspect of it being where we bring in new life. You may have manifested each other through that sacral chakra. I'm going to say portal, but through that chakra. And that may be a good way to connect to that partner. So if there's a 3D disconnect, being creative, or, sexuality or creativity, anything that has to do with that chakra working in the healthy ranges will help you pull that partner in the 3D as well. So doing artwork, anything that you do for creativity, any art form that you have will help draw that person, and that you to them, them to you. So it's through that chakra in whichever way is you're comfortable with. The negative mirror reflection, the shadow energy that you both share and see in each other. And it is refresh. So that's interesting. It's not, refresh doesn't seem like a negative shadow aspect, but let me just see. I feel a sense of something emotional here because it's the water. It also connects me to Yamai, she likes watermelon. So I get a sense of something emotional because it's mostly water. Two is the high priestess and 9 is the hermit. So I get a sense of emotional retreat here, just intuitively, because of the high priestess and the hermit. Hermit is all about retreats. High priestess is silence and emotional. So I feel like you both emotionally close off, which has little to do with the word refresh, but you know, I'm reading the card intuitively. That's the message that's coming to me. And I also see this dark shadow on the, I'm really drawn to this like wall, this dark wall that's here. But the negative mirror shadow aspect that you both share and see in each other is an emotional withdrawal, a silent emotional withdrawal. So you may ghost, you may go quiet, you may both see each other as doing that, and one thinks one's doing it, the other one thinks the other one's doing it, and maybe no one's actually talking about what's actually happening, but they may see you emotionally silently withdrawing, you see them emotionally silently withdrawing, or you may do it at the exact same moment and not know exactly why or what happened. And I'm not quite sure exactly what the connection to Mother Mary, Yamai is here, but there is one I can't quite, spiritual too, but Mother energy, there's something there that I can't quite get it. And then the seeds are dark too. If I get that, if that comes to me, I will type it in the description box below, because I feel like there's more coming, or will come up with this probably when I'm done. But the seeds are dark, and the connection to Yamai that I felt, the fact that there's watermelon on here is talking to me of her, and so I want to see if something else comes out. But what you're both sharing and seeing in each other is a silent, emotional retreat. So like an emotional overload, and then you just shut down and retreat. Go into it. Go into yourselves. You know it, and it can be at the exact same time. So what can be done to improve this relationship? Number 7. So that was 6, the negative mirror, and this was the positive mirror, and this is the negative mirror. What can be done to improve the relationship? Number 7 is exposed. So, you know, exposure probably of conversation, communication, more of the creative expression in the way of actually talking things out. Like this feels like, you know, just like pulling things from the gut, right? Kind of getting everything out in the open, as painful as it could be at times. Just literally, you know, showing all your cards, not hiding, not, you know, pulling back, getting more into the, you know, sacral chakra energies here of connection, intimacy, creativity, expression, manifestation, you know, coming together, manifesting each other more into each other's lives, what have you, just exposure of that. 5 is the Hierophant, so higher realm, more of your higher selves in regards, and then the 7 is spiritual, and also the Chariot, so moving more into like the 5D aspects of the connection or your energies, but not so much like seeing it from that way, but in regards to being able to kind of then expose, I feel like this has to do with exposure of communication. Even the words on here are blue. It feels very throat chakra to me. And it's like all the gunk that's in there and kind of like letting it out. But I feel it starts with communication. 8 is outcome and advice on this relationship. And it is isolation. 6 is the lovers, again, 7, chariot, a lot of 7s. So the outcome advice on this relationship is to not isolate yourself. This is advice. This isn't the outcome. And even if it was, this angel is outside of this little cage, and there's no way she's going to be able to go back in this cage. So it's, even if this was the outcome, this is coming out of isolation and not going back in, right? But as for advice on an outcome, on a positive outcome, is to not isolate yourself. Once you're out of that cage, you're not able to go back in. Don't go back into isolation. So try to come out of the shadow aspect, right? Don't go back into isolation. Don't go back into the hermit mode in regards to the connection. So 9 poses one question you can ask with this reading. If none is provided, more advice will be given. So I'm going to pull another advice card. If you want to ask a silent question here and see how this card answers it, you may want to do that at this time. But we're going to ask for more advice, and it is documented. So this can also be seeing things. And again, another 7. 7s in this reading are humongy. I know I've seen them more than a few times. There's one there. There's one there. There was one on this card, 47. There was one on here. There's like 4 or 5 7s in this reading. 7 is the chariot, and 2 again is the high priestess. So putting the journey before, because now the 7 is in front of the 2. Oh, here, unbreakable bond. It may have something to do with that because we have a mirror image of the 27 and the 72. This is interesting. I don't know that it has so much to do with the word documented as it does the mirror image of this high priestess, silent, moving through the journey with silence. Put the journey before that energy. For some reason, there's a reversal. And this thing is moving too. So this is talking about, it could be just move, make a move, do something, be active within it. Doing that first, like putting the journey first, I feel is their message. Because it is an unbreakable bond. It isn't going anywhere. Even though your mind may think it is. Put the journey first. I feel like this is talking about that. Put the journey first in your thoughts and your focus. Is the message I get from that. Focus on where you want to go. And then we're going to pull some oracles. We're going to do a superpower in regards to this connection. So what are you and your person's superpower right now? We have fantasy. So again, a sense of visualization, manifestation. Again, 7, 7. Under there was the 2 again. So 2 and 7 and 2 are a big number, and it is safe connection. So focusing on visualizing the connection coming together is a superpower, but this is imagination. So your imagination, and that's what we use to create what we want in our lives and where we're headed and manifesting. So that is your superpower. But I'm going to pull a couple oracles. Let's do some angels, see what angels are with us, or what energies the angels are helping with in this connection as well. If you'd like your own personal private mirror reading, you can click the link below. And this is Archangel Michael's. He is with us with all the divine connections, spiritual connections for sure. So Archangel Michael is with us. And so there's a protection here and blessing. So our blessings in this connection are protected, and this connection is unbreakable bond, and it is a blessing that is protected, regardless of how it is coming out. And the undercurrent right here is emerging, and I see spring energy there, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's springtime. It can just be new energies are emerging for us, because this is an energy of winter. So we have a winter spring vibe here. So through that time, the energies are connected and new things are growing and emerging that are blessings in this connection. So I love how this came out. I will put the information below to be taken to my shop and how to purchase this outside of the shop as well if you're interested in this reading. So angel blessings to everyone. Happy holidays as always. Oceans of love.